Okay, I think we're live. I know we had some technical difficulties, so thank you for bearing with me. We were going live through the Flow and Flourish community, but since it was my first time going live through the community, y'all, give me some grace. I didn't realize that I needed to have you guys go through StreamYard. So we are going to go directly from my business page. And again, tonight we are talking all about how growth is uncomfortable. And we have the lovely Whitney Johnson here to help us talk through this because she is a real mother, y'all. Muvah. And I want us to really just be able to have an open and honest conversation tonight about what it's like to grow while being a mom. So, Whitney, thank you again. I know that you introed yourself when we were on the other page, but I'm afraid that there weren't a couple of people or too many folks on there. So, if you don't mind, tell us again how you got in this space and let's go from there. I'm going to sip my wine while I do that too.
All right, let's rewind. So my name is Whitney Johnson. I am the mother. I built the brand on being a mother because I've gone through so many different ups and downs in motherhood. My story really began when I first had my son. I put so much emphasis into being a mother, making sure that my kids had everything they needed. They went to the camps they needed to go to. They did the things, all the things, to the point where I gave them so much and I had so very little, and I ended up having postpartum depression. And now I use my story and the things that I've gone through to help support other women through some of the struggles that they go through as they navigate through motherhood.
Ma'am, yes. And so much of what we do is centered around our kids, right? And so I love that you are helping moms to really recognize and let it sink in that we are more than moms. And that's what our podcast episode was about, right? Like, you are more than somebody's mother. And with that, we're always trying to grow. And I know for me, I'm trying to balance what I do as a business owner versus taking care of myself versus taking care of my family. How do you do that as you're trying to grow?
And okay, so one of the main things that we have to consider is that once we figure out what we want, we have to put boundaries in place to support that.
Oh, girl, hold on. I've been talking about boundaries all week long, so you know I love that.
Yeah, so once you figure out what it is that you want, because a lot of times we don't even take the time out to even tap in with ourselves, like get in touch and get in tune with what is it that I really need? What do I really want? And then once we discover what we really want, how do you enforce it and make it happen? You put boundaries in place with your children. You put boundaries in place with other people. You put boundaries in place with your spouse. You put boundaries in place with yourself. And you use these boundaries as tools to develop habits that support you in continuing to grow. And if you aren't creating those type of boundaries within your home, not only are you not helping yourself, but you're also not teaching your children the importance of creating boundaries and understanding the importance of making time for things that they need. And so these are skills that we are also teaching not only ourselves, but in an entire family.
So it's a generational thing, right? And I remember when I first heard somebody tell me that I needed to set boundaries with my kids, I'm like, I need to do what? Like, they came through me. Why I gotta set boundaries with them? They already know the deal. But talk to us about what that looks like, because I know you've helped me a lot, right? In talking about this 6-year-old who I've been saying be trying to take me out, y'all, which he's not. I love him to pieces. But learning how to set those boundaries. How do we do that?
So when we set boundaries with our children, we have to understand that they're only going to be able to understand from their level of understanding. So because they can only understand from their level of understanding, you have to teach them in a way that they can understand. Because if you try to use too many words or try to create these big topics and say, you don't need to do this because da, 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 or just do this because I told you so, and all those different types of things, these things are not supporting them in learning how to develop boundaries and how to respect your boundaries. So you have to actually bring things down to their level where they can understand it and interpret it and then actually use it in a way that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, for example, let me just give an example. Let's say, for instance, your child is about to touch a hot pan on the stove, right? And you can say, stop touching that pan. They may ask you, Mommy, why do I need to stop touching the pan? In their mind, they may really not understand why it's not okay to do that. You know what I mean? Especially if it's turned off or if it's in a different spot than it's usually in. They may really not understand why they should not do that. And so instead of saying, because I said so, one thing that you can say is just straight up tell them why they should not touch the hot pan. Don't touch the pan because it can burn you. Don't touch the pan because it can spill on you and cause an accident. And what this does is it enforces boundaries around what's acceptable and what's not within the home. So then if you understand what's not acceptable when it's near the stove, you'll also start to understand what's not acceptable in other places and in other environments around the home. The more and more we communicate and bring things down to their level where they can actually understand it and implement it on their own.
Ma'am. So what you're trying to tell me is that, well, I'm growing, my kids are growing too.
Your
they have
kids
to come
are
along for the ride.
Yes. So as we grow, our children are growing and they're challenging us to grow to our next level. And a lot of times we don't pay attention to that because we feel like we already have paved the path for them and we already know what they need. So there's no way that they can be teaching us anything because we're supposed to be the ones paving the way. We're supposed to be the ones showing them the direction. But in all actuality, you both are learning and growing together. And it's important that you grow in sync with one another so that you can both continue to move forward. But a lot of times we miss that stage because we think that we are supposed to have all the answers and be able to just blurt it all out and the kids are just supposed to just do, whatever we think they're supposed to do.
Listen, I'm a grown kid, right? And I say that because I'm trying to figure it out too. And as we talk about growth being uncomfortable, that's one of the things that, yes, we teach our kids, but how do we get through that uncomfortableness, right? So tell me, for you, what's been one of the biggest things about your journey, all your challenges, the growth that you're going through? What makes it difficult in your eyes? Because I know what I think.
Okay, so for me, I honestly think that the most challenging thing for me is overcoming the woman I used to be. Like, really, it's a battle against me versus me, literally. And I see that all the time because there's old habits and there's old ways of me, like, don't, doing all the things.
Don't make me do that.
You're not there anymore. Like, it's okay to grow. Like, accepting that I'm growing into another woman and challenging myself to be another woman. That has been one of the teeter-totters in motherhood that I've faced so far. Like, one minute I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm good. And the next minute I'm like, oh no, she did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can on and off. And so I think that that's one of the biggest challenges for me is figuring out how do I continue to improve and be a better me, knowing that I have children behind me who are watching me navigate through this process. And how would I want them to view my process when it's all said and done? I would want them to see the end piece and be like, okay, my mother popped off a little bit, but she made it,
But she did it, yeah. And I'm laughing because Samantha over here saying, yes, me versus me.
Right.
And it's so true. Because what we needed 2 years ago, 2 days ago, even hell, what I needed 2 hours ago is different, right? From what I need today.
Right.
And that's growth and giving yourself the space and the grace to be able to do that.
Right.
But what I found on my journey is that when they say everybody can't come with you, like, that is a hard pill to swallow. And so talk to me about how that's been for you. How do you get through not even intentionally leaving people behind, right? Like, you're elevating yourself, you're changing, you're growing, but the people you love sometimes don't go with you on that journey. How you manage through that, ma'am?
So one of the things that I'm learning is that I have to be okay with people not liking what I choose to do differently if it supports me in being a better woman. I have to
Mm-hmm.
be okay with them saying, oh, I don't like her no more. Oh, she this. Oh, she's that. Oh, who does she think she are? I have to be okay with all of that. And I have to stand, like my husband say, stand 10 toes down on that. Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We
10
keep a
toes
little
down.
hood, but like I just have to, stand on that. Like I have to be okay with not being everybody's favorite if I know that what I'm doing is genuinely to support and help other people move past something that I've had to battle through. Like I got to be okay with that because that's the bigger picture. And I think that that's the piece that we all be missing, you know what I'm saying? Because we so focused on, well, what about this person saying this? And what she
Mm-hmm.
don't say about that and this and that. Well, I got to let those folks go. Because if I continue to try to please all these people, I'm going to run myself daggone crazy and I'm still not going to get where I want to go. You know,
No.
like you got to just.
You got to stand 10 toes down, like you said, right? And Samantha said, 10 toes down,
That's how
baby.
you put it.
You know I'm still in that now, right? I'm be like, hey, wait, I'm 10 toes down on this.
Oh, well.
But no, it's the truth, right? You're growing, you're figuring out what works for you. And sometimes along that journey, you're going to make people upset. But the point is for you to keep focused on what it is that you're set out to do. Do you hear echo?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I heard one for a little bit. Samantha say, is the offering plate coming down the aisle or no? Samantha, I cannot deal with you.
I cannot with her. I cannot. I cannot. Oh my gosh.
So alongside of making people upset and making people uncomfortable with your own journey, do you ever find that it's hard for you to push through
Girl.
not hard for you to push through when people are not supporting you? Like how do you manage through that? Like when they was down, but now all of a sudden it's like, you know what, she thinks she better than me, or you know what, she don't want to eat how we eat anymore, or whatever it is. How do you navigate through that aside from saying, you know what, I gotta cut you off? What do you do to help you deal with the emotions that come up with that? Because it's one thing to say it, but it's a totally different thing to process through it.
I think like one of the things that we have to be okay with is crying if you gotta cry. Like
Ooh,
letting that shit out. I'm sorry, but letting it
say
out.
it again for the people in the back.
Like I can boss up and cry too. I'm going to cry because my feelings do get hurt, but best believe I will bounce back. And
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. Like giving yourself permission to be like, okay, I'm going to have a meltdown. I'm about to cry. I'm about to do the most. I'm gonna give myself my little moment, and then I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna do what I have to do. But like a lot of times we just keep pushing and just like, oh well, I'm gonna just forget it. I'm gonna just da 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 da. But no,
Mhm.
that emotion is okay. It's okay for me to be sad about that. It's okay for me to be hurt about these things because these things did hurt and they are sad.
Mhm.
But once I give myself that time, my next step is what? Because I know that this step right here don't feel good. So I got to take another step. I can't stay here. Right. So I done gave
Yeah.
myself time to stay here and do all the things. I done cried and watched my Netflix. I done did all my stuff, talk my shit. Now I'm ready to now I'm ready to move on. Like, what is my next step? Because if I stay here, I'm gonna continue to feel sad. I'm gonna feel hopeless. I'm gonna stay stuck. I'm gonna stay confused. There's no clarity. Like, I can't stay here. I gotta make a move. And so
Yeah.
that's the mindset you have to have. It's okay for me to take a break and to pause and to deal with that emotion, but then I gotta take my next step.
And you said two things, right? So not only do you allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. First of all, Evelyn is here too. Hey, sis. She said,
Hey, I didn't
hey.
see none of my babies. Hey,
And
y'all.
Samantha said, it's the resilience for me.
That's resilience, sis. Like,
Yes. But in that, right? It's not that you can't cry. It's giving yourself permission to say, you know what? This hurts. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, but I'm going to allow myself to cry. I'm going to allow myself to feel versus stuffing it down, keeping on and pushing through like, I'm fine. I'm fine. The work face we all do, right?
yeah.
Nothing is going on. I can make it. Hey, Carla. Oh, you like my hair, girl? Thank you. I get so sidetracked, y'all. But not only allowing yourself to cry, but saying it's okay to take a break. It's okay to pause. And I have to say that Carla and I, when I talked to her last year, right? Like that's a long time ago, a couple months ago. I was expressing to her about needing to take a break. And she was like, girl, if you don't pause, like, don't let anybody tell you that you have to keep putting out a podcast every single week. Take a break and do a season 2. And I'm like, well, how many episodes are in season 2? She's like, however many you say. I'm like, okay. And really, we have to learn that as we're growing, we have to rest. Because if you don't rest, you are going to be burnt out. You are going to be snapping on the people that you love. You are not going to make it to the finish line to achieve the goal that you're trying to achieve if you're burning yourself out. So I love that. Oh my goodness, I love it.
And then like growth comes with healing too, and healing is a whole hot mess in itself. Like healing is up, down, left, right. 1 minute you good with, like, healing is not sexy. You know what I'm saying? So going through
ugly, okay? Like ugly cry.
Like while you're healing, you're growing. So as you're going through that process, there's no reason why you should expect yourself to not have some type of reaction to that. That's a lot. And so it's very, very strategic and powerful to rest and allow yourself to just feel.
Yeah. Being able to feel. Oh my gosh. So okay. What else comes up for you as a challenge as you are growing, right? When you have your family and you have your business and you're taking care of yourself, what's another challenge that comes up for you?
I think one of the other challenges that come up for me is also thinking about, am I doing enough? Am I giving my kids what they need? Am I really being the mom that they need from me? Those type of things. I call those things mom guilt.
Hello, everybody. All the mom guilt.
Yeah, like they come up for everybody. And like when those things come, it's not like they won't come, but you have to have a plan of action to deal with them when they come, because those thoughts are going to happen. You know, especially like for myself, I'm in my business. I'm making sure that things are moving. So as a businesswoman, I also have to make sure that my children are getting what they need. But at the same time, I don't want to constantly tell myself that I'm not doing enough, or I could have done more, or I should have did this, or I missed the mark, or this and that. And it's those type of things that keep you stuck, because you stay in your head wondering what could I have done differently? What could I have changed? What could I have done? Instead of just accepting that it is what it is. This is how things are right now. Things will get better because my intentions are for them to get better, right? So if my intentions are to show up better, I know it's going to happen. Even if it don't happen today, I know it's going to happen. I know that I'm going to do something that's going to make this situation better, because my intentions is for that to happen. So if today is a lazy day and we're not doing anything, that's cool, because my intentions is always to make sure my kids are knowledgeable and have the information they need. I know we're going to get to it, but it may not be today. You know what I'm saying? So as long as those intentions are there, that's how you kind of get through that mom guilt that continues to plague all of us, especially when we're trying to run businesses and doing all the things.
Ma'am, I love that you said that, because I will be very transparent. Mom guilt is something that I battle on a regular basis, right? Some days I'm so much better at it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm letting that go all the way over here, because I know that I'm a good mom. Right. And then there are other days, like even specifically yesterday, dealing with my son, right? I had a sales call that was lined up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. And normally around that time, we're either chilling out, reading a book, eating dinner, depending on what's going on. And so he says, Mom, I haven't seen you all day. You really have to do more work. And of course, it's like, oh, it hit me in the heart. But at the same time, I'm like, listen, I dedicate time each and every day to not only spend with him, but also to make sure that I'm running this business, because just as much as I have a duty and an obligation to be there for my family, I have a duty and an obligation to run this business. And that also makes me think about self-care, because recently, you know, I will say to my blue in the face, you cannot give from an empty cup, right? And I have started to do both meditation and yoga. I'm trying to do it every day. It's not always, right? but allowing myself the time to do that without feeling guilty. Although it's at home, it's still time that I'm away, that I'm not interacting, like not interacting with anybody in the family. I'm not working on the business, and allowing myself to say, you know what, I need this time to take care of me. And I'm not going to guilt myself into feeling like, nope, you should be downstairs doing the dishes. You should be putting away a load of laundry. You should be over there watching Netflix with your husband. No, no, girl. So I love that you say that.
You
Evelyn is
see me in my
laughing over
period
here.
while you
I know.
talking.
Period. Capital T. Okay.
Because
Samantha
it's
said,
so true. Like, we have to give ourselves time to be something other than mom, something
yeah.
other than the businesswoman, something other than all of the hats that we wear. Like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just
Mm-hmm.
want to sit here and eat some chocolate. So that's what I'm about to do. Like, whatever it is, but you got to make time for that, because if you don't, nobody gonna make it for you. Don't
No,
nobody know what you need. So how they gonna make
no.
the time for you? You have to do it. You
And
know?
you gotta not be busy enough to know what you need. You said that early on, right? You have to not only know what you need, but most of us don't even make the time to do that. Like, how do you prioritize? What can you offer us as tips on how we can make the time to really figure out what it is that we need when we're so busy running everything else?
I think the main thing is to pay attention to how you feel. Like for instance, if you see you making a sandwich and you slapping the bread down and you putting that together,
You
it's
beat the hell
time
out of it.
to pause. We're not having lunch right now. Let's turn on this TV and relax. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because we don't even pay attention to how our voices escalate when we talking to our kids. Get over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
sometimes those are your signs. Those are the things, you know what I'm saying? You slamming doors, you making a sandwich, and those are the things you have to start paying attention to. And when you see those things, all right, I'm irritated. That's the sign. For
Mm-hmm.
me, this is literally how I think, right? So if I'm making a sandwich and I'm slapping that peanut butter on that sandwich and I'm putting that jelly, I'm like, ooh, I'm irritated. And so when I feel like I'm
To
irritated,
you.
I tell myself, like, ooh, you irritated. And when I tell myself I'm irritated, I'm like, okay, well, what helps me not feel irritated? Well, sitting down, eat my sunflower seeds. So guess what I do? I sit down and I eat my cup of sunflower seeds. And then when I'm together, I make the sandwich. But a lot of times we don't sit down and pay attention to the emotions. We don't even acknowledge the fact that we're slamming bread or that we're yelling or our voices escalating. Like, those things aren't even registering, but those are the things that start everything, right? It's the little emotions, it's the little snaps and the twists that we do when we irritate, and we have to pay attention to. And then once you see that, you have to recognize, what do you need to pull yourself out of that? What changes the trajectory of that feeling for you? How do you shift that? What makes you shift when those things happen? And then once you recognize that, you have to start doing it.
Yeah.
I keep my sunflower seeds on deck because I know they help me feel better.
And that's a good thing too, knowing what you need. I'm rolling over here because Samantha said healing is like an extra large big toe. It's ugly, but you need it to stay grounded. Ma'am, all of that. And Evelyn said her self-care today was taking a shower before everybody else so that they're left with the lukewarm water.
Period. Period.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm telling you, you gotta do what's best for you. And like, I don't think it looks a certain way. Right. You know what I'm saying? We use this word self-care and everybody think we gotta get our nails done. But it's just like, girl, there's more things than just getting your nails done for self-care. You know what I'm saying? You have to figure out what works for you, but don't just follow the crowd and just think that getting your nails done is gonna make you feel better. That may not be the thing for you.
It's to each his own. Yeah. And I think it's just as important to understand what brings you out of that, right? Sometimes for me, it's turning on Beyonce or turning on some Sophista Ratchet music or lighting a candle and just sitting down for a second. Like, you know what? I just need to sit on my bed and not have nobody say nothing to me and smell the scent of this candle, because this is what's going to calm me down. Other times, like today, I was frustrated. I had to deep breathe while I was driving, y'all. Like, and that's okay because I was gripping the steering wheel, right? And my mind was racing. I'm like, no, I'm like, ooh, you need to breathe. You
Yeah.
need to breathe. And being able to recognize in the moment how to get you through. Because as women, as we're growing, you also mentioned something. The people that we love are watching us, in particular, our children.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I know you have a daughter, and I don't know if everybody on here has daughters, but for me, having this 17-year-old, like, she's going to be 18. What are we in February? In 3 months, she's going to be 18. And so I am so intentional about what I do, how I do it. And even if I find myself in that irritated mood, beating up the sandwiches I'm making it, sometimes she's watching me and I'm like, listen, babe, I'm not upset with you. I know my face is frowning. I know you see me over here beating up the bread, but what I'm thinking about is this, and there. So I'm feeling and learning how to express that, because not only does it get it out of me, but it also allows other people around you to know that they don't have to walk on eggshells, right? They didn't do nothing to you.
Yes, and then we're teaching our children how to deal with complex emotions too. They're
Mm.
watching us deal with complex emotions. When you stressed out, how do you deal with it? You just start yelling. Okay, cool. When I'm stressed out, I start yelling. I don't know how to handle it. That's what your kids are going to be thinking.
Yeah.
This is how I handle difficult emotions. I can just start screaming, and then things will change. And that's not even realistic, right? Like that is not how you
No.
handle a situation. You have to learn how to communicate, voice your opinions, and work through things. That's excuse me, that's one of the reasons why I always make it very, very important for us to have open communications. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, oh, my way is the only way and you can't ask me questions or question something that I did. I don't want it to be that way, because I want you to question things so you can have understanding and
Mm-hmm.
clarity. So it's not, in our family, in our household, it's not just, oh, my ideas and your stuff don't matter. No, we have
Yeah.
open dialogue between the two of us so that we can have understanding and be able to communicate, because these complex emotions and these situations are always going to occur. Like, you're going to have things that happen that you can't plan or be prepared for. And when that happens, how do we teach our kids how to deal with that if they can't deal with the small thing between us in the household? It
Yeah.
starts with us. And so we have to start being able to open up communication, being able to say, yes, you can question something that I did. Yes, we can have open dialogue about these things, because this helps me grow and it helps teach you how to deal with these type of emotions in the future too.
Yeah, I love that. Like, really being able to work on the small stuff, right? And Evelyn said that this is so good because I know for me, that 6-year-old again, right? He has been having some difficulty at school and being able to really talk through what is going on. And ultimately what I found out is that he's just frustrated. He don't like going to school and eating breakfast at school because he don't like fruit cocktail.
Oh,
I'm like, so that's why you acting the whole fool? Let's talk about this, right? But then even for us, it makes me think about, as adults, I was thinking about this as I was getting ready for the live. Do you have the capacity to grow, like mentally, emotionally, and even support wise? So when you think about growth, what do you feel like you wish you had as you started on your growth journey? And I guess, for example, with me, I wish that I had a sister friend community beforehand, right? So I could be around other women that were like minded, that were helpful. Thank God for P2P, y'all. I'm gonna just leave that right there. What other kind of things do you feel like are important as you're on this journey for growth?
I think when I think
That's a
about
lot,
this
I
whole growth thing, like honestly, I could not do it if I didn't have the Sisters of P2P. I'm
know.
completely honest with you. Like, I just feel like you have to have like a community of like people who get it, who on that same wave, because it's lonely when you're growing, because everybody can't come and everybody won't come. And so if you don't have people who are also elevating around you, you start thinking that, maybe I am crazy. Maybe I don't need to try this. Maybe this is not what I need to do. And so
Maybe they're right, right?
right. You have to have sister friends, homegirls, whatever, who are on that same wave, who can say, nah, sis, you got to keep going. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
called you the other day. I was like, girl, I'm done. I'm over it.
Listen.
Game over. But I had to have people around me that could tell
Mm-hmm.
me, no, pause.
Wait,
This
I
ain't
was
the right way.
I'm sorry. She
What?
said, "You down with pizza with Peter? Yeah, you know me."
Hey!
Oh, yeah, having listen, and I called you too. You know what I mean? Like, called Evelyn.
Yes,
I
I'm
talked
telling
to
you,
Danielle
that's
today.
game
Like,
changing for me. Like that was game changing for me because like I don't necessarily have that around me on a regular basis where women
mhm,
are like doing something and you know I'm a part of that. You know, so
mhm,
that is something that I wish I had sooner, especially when I was pregnant and you know those type of things. I
yeah,
think that would help along the growth process. It's just being around other people who are like
yeah.
minded.
I think that for me, it's the same thing, right? I've had to learn how to put myself in community with other women who are elevating because oftentimes we are not surrounded by, unfortunately, our friends and family don't get where our vision is going, right? Oh, hey, Aretha. Aretha's here. My mama here too. Hey. We're not around a lot of people that help us to continue on our journey. So whether it is finding different groups on Facebook, I know you have the Real Motherhood Circle that I want you to talk about. I have the Flow and Flourish community. There's so many different resources that are out here. And I know I used to be like, I don't really need nobody. Like I'll figure it out. I'm fine. I'll figure it out. That's not the truth because you trying to figure it out is still going to lead to you being burnt out just as much as if you're not dealing with what you're feeling, right? It's the same thing. Same thing. So
And then it's also like this, you know what I'm saying? Like not asking for help is more so like a pride thing for me. Like I always feel like pride come before the fall. Like you gotta humble yourself and be like, yo, I can't do this on my own. I need help. What I'm doing is not pushing me forward. What I'm doing is sending me in circles. And I really want to go forward. So how can I just say, look, I need help. Let me get the help so that I can get where I gotta go. But that takes a lot of inner healing and all those type of things because you have to get to a place in your life where you're ready to receive the help, right? Because the
mhm,
help can be there, but you have to be ready to receive it so that you can actually benefit from it.
ma'am, sometimes we ask for it and then we still don't accept it. Like, you know what? You're not going to do this how I would do it. So I'll just do it myself.
Yep.
Right? Like, get you some business. So, being able to really be in a position and a mindset, right? It starts with your mindset. As you are growing, not only do you need people around you, you have to change your mindset and understand what it takes to get to the next level. And I know for me, being in this state of building in my business, sometimes that means hiring out for stuff, right? Investing in yourself, which I know is hard if you've never done it. And I know I've come across that a lot more recently, and I've had to understand that for me in particular, working with other women that want to invest in themselves because I'm constantly investing in me. And when you're growing, sometimes you got to hire out to help to have people help you with stuff.
Facts. Because if you try to do it all, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out. You have to delegate things to other people or you will burn out. There is no way possible to do everything. That's why God created different people so that you can lean on other people as support to get to where you're trying to go. There's no way that you can do it on your own. And if you can do it on your own, I feel like your vision is not big
No,
enough.
absolutely not. Say that one more time.
If you can do it on your own, your vision probably ain't big enough.
Hashtag ain't big enough.
It's
Oh
not.
gosh,
You
no,
know,
because
because like if you have a vision that's really if it's a God vision,
mhm.
if it's a God vision, it's so big that you literally cannot. Like there's no way that you can do that on your own. You need support to do it.
And that is growth in and of itself. Like your mind has to grow, right? You said earlier that oftentimes the biggest challenge is it's me versus me. And so you have to learn and identify, right? What are some of the ways that you used to think or that sometimes creep back in? And what are some of the ways that you now need to think? Like refocusing. It's all about going back to what do you need? How do you get it? And are all of these things tied to your goal, right? Growth isn't going to be pretty. You're not going to be immediately successful overnight. You're not going to have all the followers right away. But are you committed to being able to do the work, which sometimes means letting go of people? In my instance, it was letting go of a very, very good paying job, right? Like all of that. What are you committed to doing to get to the finish line? Because that growth is ugly. Like Samantha said, big toe ugly. Okay.
Big toe ugly. It's not cute. It's not cute. And I think like we glamorize it like, oh my God, I'm growing. But
I'm a
girl,
CEO of my own company. Yeah, but you're doing all the things. Like some days, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, maybe I need to just go back to working for a company. I don't want to be the CEO no more. I done hired and fired myself 3 times this week. Today.
Girl, I'd be like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Because
Listen.
it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we glamorized it and made it seem like it's just this fairy tale, but really it's a process of constant healing, changing, losing people, gaining people, this happening, that happening. You know what I'm saying? Like it's constantly over and over and over again. And you have to be resilient enough to keep going. And that's the thing, what's going to keep going.
Yeah, you have to. So talk to me a little bit about your podcast and the Motherhood Circle, because I tell you offline and I'll tell you again here, I love how you show up. I love that you say all the stuff that most of us wouldn't say out loud, that we say to ourselves in the shower or write down in our journal, because it's tough. Being a mom is tough. Hell, being a woman is hard, even if you ain't got no kids, okay?
That part.
So tell me a little bit about what you do in the Real Motherhood community and about the podcast.
So I view myself as a realist. I keep it real, I keep it ratchet, but I also am very, very helpful. And so a lot of my platform covers topics pertaining to parenting and motherhood, but it's also done in a way that is real and ratchet and true to who I am. And so the Mother May I podcast is my podcast. And we basically cover topics that women face through motherhood, from relationships to parenting, to all types of different topics. But that's my main goal, is to give women a space to be able to be true to whoever they are, whatever it is, whatever you do on your spare time, whatever you do, it's okay here. Like, let it go. We don't have a certain image of motherhood over here. We keep it real. And so that's my whole concept behind my brand, is just to be okay with whatever motherhood looks like for you. You know what I'm saying? So we have the Mother May I podcast. We also have the Motherhood Circle, where we just chit chat. I share some tips and advice in there also. But that's pretty much how I get down. I like to stay true to who I am, because that's what feels right to me. And I tried so hard to be like who everybody else wanted me to be, but it never felt genuine. And I'm now in a space where I'm like, you know what? Y'all don't like it, unfollow me, boo, because this is how you gonna get it.
Right, because the people that are for you, right? Yeah. I know for me, I say oftentimes that I've had to learn I'm still learning how to be me, because going from being in corporate all of my life to now being an entrepreneur, a business owner, being my own CEO, it's a total shift. It's a huge shift. And I put myself in a box for so long. And so I already was delighted when I met you in Purpose to Platform, but also to really see you come through and shine and be who you are. I'm like, yes, go it. It's amazing. And I am so thankful that you show up authentically and you help women like me to be able to do that as we're growing, because this ain't easy. It's hard. And even like Samantha said, she gave herself the pink slip this morning.
Period. Right? Okay.
So being able to laugh and be in community with other women who are going through the same thing is amazing. So thank you for creating a space. that you
Thank
do.
you so much. And like that means a lot to me because like it was tough for me because I would compare myself to other people in my industry. And I was like, dang, I don't talk like them. Dang, I can't present the same. I know my stuff, but I can't present it that way. So
Right.
I had to learn to be okay with how I present it because I just felt like there were people who would understand it in the way that I presented it. And there were people who would understand the way that they presented it. And that would be okay. You know, so it just finally getting into that space just feels good. So thank you so much for that. Like that.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Now, do you have anything that? Oh, I didn't even realize, girl. I got on a shirt that say love, and it's
And I got on
Valentine's Day.
red,
So
so
look
red
at
and
us.
blue.
I get so distracted, y'all. Bear with me. Is there anything that you have going on right now? Any freebies? Anything that you want to call out?
Girl, I just want women to get ish together. I want them to stop playing. I got the Get Your Ish Together bundle. You can find it by visiting my website, realmotherhood.com. That's MUVAH.
Real
Hood.
mother.
Hood. Motherhood.com, realmotherhood.com, and you can grab a copy of the Get Ish Done bundle. But basically, it's a bundle that helps mom to really figure out what they need, why they need, and get it done. So we can stop playing games and stop being burnt out and tired and overwhelmed with all our to-do lists. Let's figure out what we really need to do and then take actions towards getting that done. So Get Ish Done bundle is what you need if that's what you're dealing with, because that's what's really the game changing thing. Especially for me, that's what I have used in my own business to put myself to where I am today. So, yeah, girl.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I will absolutely include that when I post the replay. I am so thankful for having you here. I know we've been on for a little over 40 minutes, plus the 20 we were on the other side. So I want to be mindful of your Friday. Ladies, do you have any questions that you want to bring up while we're still here? Y'all know I'm notorious for being like, okay. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes.
Let me know.
But yeah, no, I really appreciate you being here and talking through this, because this is not a struggle that either of us go through on our own, right? There's so many women who are growing, but it's uncomfortable. And sometimes when it gets uncomfortable, we want to just throw in the towel. And what I want women to know is that you don't have to throw in the towel, right? Find you a good group of women where you can really truly express yourself and be supported. Don't think that because people around you who may not understand your vision that you can't do what you're called to do, because you have the vision, not them, right? And I know that's something I work through all the time. And also for us to really identify what it is that we need. And when you know what you need, then you can set the time aside. You can create room, AKA the capacity to do the growth work that you need. But it's not pretty. It's not sexy. It's worth it. But don't think that it's going to be all rainbows and sunshine, because that's not what it's about.
No, baby.
So, Evelyn said no questions, but she loves us.
Evelyn.
And for us to keep doing what we're doing. Women are being healed everywhere because of us too. And the same for you, ma'am.
Yeah,
and
right. I'm about to say Evelyn.
Come on now. Oh my gosh. Yes, I love it. And I thank you guys for showing up and engaging with us. Y'all know we do this for all the women who are out there. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. And thank you for tuning in to Flow Friday.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
You're welcome. Wait, Samantha said no questions because Nicole is like a journalist hitting all the points. I received that.
Asking the right question.
That's that HR having to be able to recap. So you're getting fired because. Okay, I'm done. I love y'all.